Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you all can see and hear me. Enough of the riff-raff. We're going to start in record time. 3 minutes late today. That is a happening record. Welcome to happening number 6. My name is Tim Batt, and I'll be with you for the next 90 minutes as we put the art in party. Just because we're all confined to our houses doesn't mean we're not cool, creative, hilarious, awesome people. Making stuff, getting it done. It's the morning here in New Zealand. It is 10 a.m. and I should not be as tired as I am. I've just had a lovely coffee. So I should be good to go, but I feel a little bit sleepy. How you guys doing? Let me know in the comments. We've got a big old show for you today, folks. Got a lot of stuff happening. Might have an interview with a band. We've got a 4-part video series from Sudsies, who famously sent us a video that I played, I think, maybe 8 times in the last episode of Happening. Dear the SPCA, he's got a new thing he sent to us called Problem Child, which we'll be exploring in 4 parts. We got facts about fish. We've got, frankly, some pretty worrying news, but another cool game from Simon Nathan. And I'm getting back to my roots. In just a little bit, I'm going to be doing some loo reviews. Thank you very much. Getting some comments on the outfit. It's funny, I put this on half an hour ago, and the thing about kimonos is they're so comfortable that I completely plumb forgot I was wearing it. These things are amazing, and this fabric and stuff is not the highest quality, but even so, just the fact that it's a kimono, it feels oh so good. As always, keep me up to date with how the audio is and if anyone's muted in the comments, and I'll try and have the YouTube window up at all times so I can keep track of that while I desperately try and make this fabulous machine broadcast a wonderful show for you today. I tell you what, every now and then, and I've been trying not to do it, I'll tune into the news. It's a bad idea. I'd recommend get exactly the information you need. Just like, what do we need? Are we staying indoors today? Cool. Switch it off. If it's a radio, flick it off. Turn it on to a music station. If it's TV, throw it out your don't throw it out your window. That's dangerous. But maybe just pull it out at the wall. Don't need it. Just get the news you need and then move on. And I'm going to supplement the other news that you need. Big news happening in the world right now is you may have seen that there's a wild herd of 122 Kashmiri goats that have reclaimed a town in northern Wales, which I'm all about. I think that's fantastic. I think it's about time that we started ceding a few of our territories to the animal kingdom, or else they're going to take it by force. And by all accounts, it seems like the public are loving it at this stage. They're not getting too bent out of shape or anything. In fact, I think I might be able to bring you some visuals of what's happening. Because it's Wales, there's no way in hell I'm going to attempt to pronounce the name of the town. I'll see if I can get... How do we get this on screen for it? There we go. Oh, look at that. So we've got one of the locals, Andrew Stewart, has tweeted out some videos of these goats reclaiming the city streets. I think it's great. Look at these beautiful goats. They've got just as much right to be there as anyone else. Weirdly, I was looking up this town because this has been going on for a few days now, and apparently not the first time that it's happened in this particular Welsh city or town. Fuck, look at them go. And in the last few hours, there's been an arrest for some guys who've been slashing tyres, which is terrible. And I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, it's actually the goats having a bit more fun than people even know about. Man, I've managed to confuse myself in record time here with the old controls, which is always a good thing. Tons of people simultaneously watching right now. This is huge. 60 people? You shitting me, dudes? Thank you so much. You can share the word. Make sure that everyone knows where we are and what we're doing. I made it. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. I feel like I've set everything up and now I'm going to lose everything. But what about this cool little graphic that was made up by a very helpful cat? That was courtesy of Mark Mansfield, Mark with a C _ Mansfield 1 on Twitter, but he doesn't post that much art. But if you want to find him, that's him. But if you want to get in touch with the show, here's all the things. Instagram and Twitter handle is the same, @happening_show. Facebook.com/thisishappening. And if you want to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/happeningshow. 3 tiers of support available, all Dr. Phil related. If anyone in the comments... Oh, great. Okay, I did it. I'd accidentally put OBS into full screen, and boy, did it scare the crap out of me because I couldn't see anything else, including the live stream. As I said, folks, we got a lot of show to do today, which I'm very excited about. So let's get on with it. What should our first... Oh, yeah, of course. Well, very important item of business we've got to get to, which is making sure that everyone is aware of what the roads are doing right now. So let's check on those traffic cams. Okay, I'll just do a quick refresh of our traffic cams here. We've got State Highway 16. This is in Auckland, where the time right now is 10 after 10 a.m, so people possibly going into work. Doesn't appear to be refreshing. Oh, it's just doing it so quick, I'm not even seeing. Looks to be pretty clear for your mid-morning commute if you're going to work. That's northbound, mind you. Let's have a look at State Highways 1 and 2. Southbound, where are we? We're in Wellington. That's looking pretty clear to me. To my eye, that's going to be a real smooth ride in and out of work or whatever you're doing. Shoot over now to South Korea. Just make sure we've got the live up to date. Yeah, not a lot of traffic there that's going to be slowing you down, which is always good to see. And then, of course, we need to also check on our Los Angeles viewers who will be joining us at 2 p.m. Pretty free-flowing there. We're looking at the I-110 on First in Los Angeles. And let's just check on Vineland Avenue, also looking pretty free-flowing, which is always a positive sign. Good stuff, Los Angeles. And let's have a look at the Chooks. The Chooks are... Let's just get rid of everything else so we're freeing up that bandwidth. All right, the Chooks are active. The Chooks are up. Getting a bit of water. Unfortunately, they don't have the... Oh, we do have the egg count on. Okay, we've got... I'm not sure how the key works here. I guess is it just colours, or are they doing it in sizes? I'm not sure. But we've got 1 of something, 5 of another kind of egg, and then I think it was 2 for another one. So the Chooks are looking good, everyone. So that is the news. We're all up to date on that. And now we can head into our first of 4 parts of Problem Child. So this is Lachlan, who sent us in Dear the SPCA in the last episode, happening number 5. And this is great. This is what I want to see. If you've got any art, send it on through to thisishappeningshow@gmail.com. If you want to follow Sudsy, I'll chuck his Chiron up actually right now, just while I get this ready. You can follow him, there it is, on, I think that's his Twitter handle there. And without further ado, here is part 1 of Problem Child.
Ahoy there. Ahoy there. Top and Sun here, reporting to you. We're live from the middle of the ocean. Ooh. No, we're very safe. It's very safe. We're just, me and Liam here, we thought we might go on a bit of a camping trip for the day. Didn't we, buddy? Yeah? Liam's been acting up at school a little bit lately. He's, nothing major, just a bit of horseplay, a bit of shenanigans, but also some quite serious stuff too, you know. He waterboarded another boy just the other day, and that's very unlike him. So, you know, we thought we'd go on a bit of a camping trip, see if we can't fix you up a bit. Eh? Not fix you up. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you, alright? Okay.
Love this.
Ahoy there. Ahoy, ahoy there. Top and Sun here, reporting to you. We're live from the middle of the ocean. Ooh. No, we're very safe. It's very safe. We're just, me and Liam here, we thought we might go on a bit of a camping trip for the day. Didn't we, buddy? Yeah? Liam's been acting up at school a little bit lately. He's, nothing major, just a bit of horseplay, a bit of shenanigans, but also some quite serious stuff too, you know. He waterboarded another boy just the other day, and that's very unlike him. So, we thought we'd go on a bit of a camping trip, see if we can't fix you up a bit. Eh? Not fix you up. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you, alright? Okay. Alright, here we are. Here's our home for the next 24 hours. What do you think, Liam? Buddy? Alright, I'll give you the tour. Come on, here we go. What? That's it. That's the tour. That's all there is. Should we go have a look around, Liam? We'll go have a look.
There's Lockie, aka what's his handle again? Sudsy _ It's right there on screen. You guys can read it. Thanks for the heads up there. Incorporating your feedback into the show. I've moved the logo over to this part of the screen now, so it's not occupying the same space as my beautiful face. So thanks for the heads up there. If you put something in the YouTube comments, you better believe I'm reading it. Guy Montgomery checking in through personal channels, wanting to jump in. What time does he wants to get on in 15 minutes? Absolutely, Monty. We will make the time. We will absolutely make the time. Now, I've got an update for you on one of our regular contributors, and honestly, this isn't great news, but Simone wants me to pass on that she's definitely okay, and she also needed me to mention that she has scheduled a virtual doctor's appointment, which she may have had at this stage. But it appears that we've got our first contributor who is COVID positive on the show. We want to have a diverse range of people on the show. And Simone Nathan from New York City is the first one who has tested positive for corona. So she seems to be doing all right. But as a result of some of the symptoms she's experiencing, she has changed her regular feature, which is a game called What's That Sound, to What's That Smell. So here's Simone Nathan with What's That Smell?
What's that smell? What's that smell? I can smell it very well. What's that smell?
Hello and welcome to a special edition called What's That Smell? I have officially lost my sense of smell and taste and may be the first openly coronavirus carrying guest on the show, in which case it is an honor. I am going to smell some different things and see if anything can get through the barrier. Green Goddess salad dressing. Extremely zesty salad dressing. No, absolutely nothing. It could be a glass of water. This is a lemon spritz. Not a thing. There is not a single, even a hint of lemon. Now time for tastes. A gummy worm. This is one of the sourest ones. This one's interesting because there is a sensation of something, but ultimately, if you were to ask me what flavor it was, I couldn't even begin to tell you, except that I know because I read it on the packet. It's blue raspberry and Coca-Cola. My cat's food. I'm not gonna try it. I'm not gonna try it, am I? No. I'm not. That's not worth the bit. Is it? I'm not gonna try it. But cat food is one of the strongest smelling things, and every time I pour it, it makes me feel sick. So here we go. Nothing. That's crazy. Finally, I'm very averse to spicy foods. Even the lowest, like the most mild spice usually kind of puts me out of action for the day. I have here some sriracha chili sauce. I'm gonna try some now. I need a spoon. I'm really not looking forward to this. What's that taste? Whoa, that's weird. I can't taste it, but it still hurts. No, that got through. I really regret that. Thank you for joining me on this sad episode of What's That Taste and Smell. See you next time.
What's that taste? What's that taste? Well, it's all going to waste. What's that taste?
Oh, let me turn my mic on. A lot of concern for Simone Nathan in the comments, and rightly so. But she wants me to assure everyone that she's doing just fine. She's okay. Yeah. Not great, though. But also important to have a diverse range of guests on the show, and that includes people without corona and people with corona. So, you know. Hashtag stay strong, Simone. That's going to be the hashtag for today. Good stuff, Monty, for contributing that in the comments. Thank you. Rose Matafeo, great to see you there in the comments as well. Actually, we're catching up with Rose and Alice later in the show for a little saga that's played out on their podcast, Boners of the Heart, which... no kidding. I can barely recommend that podcast enough. It's a really good listen, and at the moment, generally speaking, they're a little bit up and down with the release schedule of that podcast, but they're pumping out an episode every single day while Rose and Alice are holed up together in self-isolation. And I tell you what, I thought that the worst idea of all time, my podcast with Guy Montgomery, was a dissection of a friendship put under strain and stress. Rose and Alice not only have the tight confines of self-isolation, but the emotional intelligence to really dig through their relationship. And it is a fantastic listen. They're both very, very funny as well, to boot, of course. So we're going to do part 2 now. The show will go on like a goddamn freight train today. In fact, before I do that, I was going to do part number 2 of Problem Child, but before I do that, let's do something else, and that is Gabby's Fish. I don't have a flashy title or anything for this, but Gabby sent me in an email, and I'll pop up the picture on screen in just one moment. But the email reads, "Hi Tim, my co-worker and I make these informational posters about fish every week. We post them in our company-wide messaging system. We email them to our outside counsel, and when we could be in the office, we tape them to the door. Not a single person asks us to do this, and it has absolutely fuck all to do with our jobs. But we do it regardless because there's nothing I find funnier than commitment to the bit, and because I'm my co-worker's direct supervisor and she has to do what I say. I'm a fun boss," writes Gabby. "If you think this would fit on the show, please use it. If you want more, I have a backlog of fish poster and some birds we did in 2019, or I can just send you the ones I do during quarantine time, so it's true quarantine art. No socials to plug. Plug the worst idea of all time." Thank you, Gabby. I did just briefly, so I'm going to count that as your request fulfilled there. And here is the beautiful first poster of 2 that Gabby has sent us for Fish of the Week. Now, let me bring this up so I can read it. Cookie cutter sharks are found in the warm waters of equatorial oceans, usually close to islands. Every day they migrate up to 3 kilometers vertically. That is insane. The delta on that altitude. Rising to shallower waters at dusk and retreating to depths of up to 3.7 kilometers. They grow to about half a meter long, and they have cylindrical bodies, which are mostly brown, but also bioluminescent. That is so freaking cool. They have the largest teeth of all sharks relative to their body size. The cigar shark sometimes swallows and digests its own teeth, which is thought to strengthen its cartilage skeleton with calcification. These sharks named for their feeding habits of biting round plugs out of larger animals, making it look like their prey has been cut with a cookie cutter. They also have been known to bite submarines, undersea cables, and human bodies. That's Catch of the Week from Gabby, the cookie cutter shark, or cigar shark. I didn't know there were any sharks that were bioluminescent. That's awesome. She sent us another fish poster as well while we're in the bit. This is the second of 2. Let me bring this up on my screen so I can read it. What have we got here? Oh, this looks like it might be the same. Yep, that's the same one. So I might have made a little boo-boo there, but that's quite fine. What a fantastic contribution to the show. Gabby, I love what you're doing at your office. That's what makes the world go round. No one's asking you to do that. You're just fucking researching some marine life and sharing it with your colleagues. Wonderful stuff. Truly the best fish. A lot of fans in the comments of these cigar fish. These are the fish that eat the internet cable to New Zealand. Quite possible, Secret Beetle. It was specifically mentioned that they eat underwater cables. And I don't know how many cables we've got running underwater except for the internet ones. Are there other underwater cables? Leave your comments in the YouTube stream. Thanks, Louise. Louise Bovink, another great comedian who's tuning in. What a fabulous kimono, Tim. Thank you, mate. I bought this and never used it. I took it out of the packaging just this morning. But I bought this with the intention to use it for a comedy festival show, just to liven stuff up a little bit a couple of years ago. And then it turned out my wife had a beautiful kimono, which fit me okay. And I used that one instead. So I'm glad to get this one out of its sheath, give it a bit of a wear. Now, Sudsy has contributed a 4-part series for us, and that is called Problem Child. He's the guy who sent in Dear the SPCA last week, if you're just tuning in, which I played, I think, about 8 times. Here is his Twitter handle. There it is. And right now we're going to play part 2 of 4 of Problem Child from Sudsy.
Now, Liam, buddy, I read online that music is great for emotional bonding, and I know that you're a big music fan, aren't you? Yes. So, and what was your favourite instrument?
Drums.
No, it was kazoo, wasn't it, when I asked you the other day?
Drums.
Right, well, I brought my kazoo, and no, don't walk away. No, there's...
Doing it again.
Hey, buddy. How are you? Alright. Hey, what's the worst thing you've done, probably, do you think? Because I was thinking about this, and I'd say probably the worst thing you've done is the swine flu. That was pretty bad. Do you remember that?
What was wrong with that?
Well, when you had swine flu and you went around trying to hug everyone. I mean, it was one thing to go on the bus and try and hug people there, but going into that nursing home was absolutely a step too far. It's not okay. I mean, I love a laugh just as much as you do, but you can't be going around trying to give people swine flu. Do you see where I'm coming from? No? Okay. Just have a think about it.
That is Sudsy, the legend. Sudsy, cool Aussie dude who's sending us content like every episode now. People are invested. People are getting into it. That is part 2 of a 4-part series we're going to be playing throughout the episode today, happening number 6. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Keyboard Cam that we've got there. Some people say that they really enjoy seeing that. So here's a little snapshot of the setup that we're rocking. Here's me with my kimono again. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're tuning in. Hey, we're quickly approaching triple digits, which is an all-time record for the show. Tell ye mates where we live. See if I can get this on screen. Look at this bloody graphic. How cool is that? Share it with your friends. You just right-click and copy and paste this URL to your socials. Go, hey, everyone, come check Timbad out. We'll see if we can break 100 simultaneous viewers. The Instagram and Twitter handle is the same. It is @happening_show. Facebook.com/thisishappeningshow. And the Patreon is patreon.com/happeningshow. My intention is to get all of the segments on to the Facebook, and I've been a bit slow to do that so far. My apologies. The reason for that is... it's a little bit of work to put all this together. It takes a bit of time, so I'm just trying to catch up on everything. And there's a lot of podcasts going out into the world at the moment. By the way, if you are bored for stuff to listen to at the moment, can I recommend my podcast network, littleempirepodcast.com. Everyone's cranking out the content at the moment. Guy Montgomery and I are pushing out some old what were formerly paywalled episodes of movie reviews that we did for our Patreon supporters, which are now free for all at the worst idea of all time. Rose Matafeo and Alice Snedden putting out daily episodes in quarantine of Boners of the Heart. We've got the Male Gaze. What else do we have? I can actually go and check on that right now. How to Save the World is another one that I co-host, which is about sustainability and environmentalism. Hosting, if you haven't heard it before, is fantastic. And Advanced Analytics, for some reason, I haven't put on the website, but that you should check out as well if you're a basketball fan. That is Guy Williams and Paul Williams, brothers, united by their love of the NBA. Probably united because they're brothers, but also because they love b-ball. Okay, now, a funny thing has happened here with Chris Parker's fantastic recurring public service, which is providing banal chat, banal office chat for those who are working from home at the moment and maybe missing out on those sorts of exchanges that you try and avoid at the office place. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the release schedule of Arrested Development, but when it first went on air on TV in the States, they did everything they could to fuck that show up. They were playing episodes out of order. They were cancelling it mid-season, then it would randomly come back without announcement. Unfortunately, I Arrested Developmented Chris Parker because I played part 5 of Chris Parker's banal office chat before part 4. So I don't want you to miss out on this absolutely steaming hot content. So I'm now going to play you part 4, even though last happening I played you part 5. So here's a little bit of time travel. You put it together in your head. Here is Chris Parker with banal office chat.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, were you working? Oh, yeah, no, just thought I'd pop by, say hello. Oh. Today's all right, isn't it? Sort of, not great, not bad, just kind of sort of middle of the road kind of day, isn't it? You wouldn't write about it. Well, I mean, I should be writing about it. Well, I have been writing about it. I've sort of been writing sort of police reports about it. So obviously, Guy is still AWL, absent without leave. So yeah, you know, feel bad about kind of trashing the mother-in-law, and then she's gone missing for a while. So those kind of things that we've been, you have not been kind of telling people about what I've sort of, because this is just kind of between us, you know what I mean? And I would hate, we'll say Fiona, to hear about this, and then to leave me. Which she is flirting with the idea of. Wow. Would you say she said, Greg, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of fucking shit. My mum's gone missing. Get out. So, you know, flirting with, or would you call that deep penetration? The kids are gone, and so is Fiona. And it's just me in the house. Just sort of they're sort of bouncing off the walls. So yeah, I don't know, I like the space. So if anything, I'm like, shame Fiona, shame Timmy, I've got the house to myself, ha 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 ha. So that's why I think coming into work's been good, actually. Yeah, because I just think, oh God, if I wasn't, I wouldn't see anyone. Well, apart from you, obviously. You could come over. Is that something you'd be I mean, it could doesn't have to be drinks either. It could be just like a game, not strip poker, but it could be Twister or solitaire or whatever game you're into. I think at this point it is good for me to see someone personally. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just that's me just sort of airing my own thoughts. Anyway, hey, listen, I will not burden you anymore with what's all the storms in there, and I'll let you continue with what you're doing, which seems to be pretty busy, pretty important stuff. So, again, I'm just down the far end of the office there. They've put that big wall of boxes up and it says, don't talk to them. So you can just bash down those boxes. Feel free to come by and give me a high five or just wherever you're into. So, okay, you're not going to come? No, it's fine, I'll leave you to it. Cheerio.
The one and only Chris Parker there with banal office chat that you might be missing out on at the moment. I know people's lives are in turmoil. It's important to have your landmark parts of your day still part of your day, even in quarantine. If you are devoid of gorgeous COVID-free content in your life, follow this man on Instagram. He's pumping out so many videos of him felting little animals and other things. Oh no, I've put his handle wrong. Hold on. It's Chris Parker, which you might be able to guess because his name is in fact Chris Parker. I better check that actually. Please stand by everyone while I Google Chris Parker's Instagram. Yes, that's right. Chris Parker 11. Yes, great. A lot of love for this segment in the comments. So as I said, I'm going to try and put all of the segments that are on happening up on Facebook, so you'll actually be able to watch the Chris Parker saga unfold in the correct order. But hey, you know what? Is it art to mix up the order that you tell a story in? Who am I, Chris Nolan? I don't know. Those titles, by the way, the very talented Thomas Cottle put them together. You should go to his website just because it's like visually stunning. sick-days.com. I'm going to show it to you because I just think it's so amazing. I've been mates with Thomas for ages. He's done a bit of artwork for us on the podcast network, and he makes like a lot of beer can logos and that sort of stuff. Look at this shit, man. This is really cool. Look at these fabulous designs. He's too busy now, so he doesn't take commissions. That's Nick Sampson there is Ernest Rutherford in the top left. Very cool stuff. And back to me. My eyes are up here. Now, I'm very excited about doing this next bit of the show, folks, because what we are going to be doing takes me right back to TVNZU, which was a television station that existed for, I think, about 2.5 years. I think it was less than 3 years. Rose might be able to tell me if she's still tuned in. It was one of Rose's sort of big on-screen debuts in a ongoing sort of a way. And really, the kind of spiritual mother of this show, in some ways, I've kind of modeled it, what we're doing here on that a little bit. It was this crazy youth station that our national broadcaster TVNZ put on. They ran it for fucking no money whatsoever. So just got all of these keen comedians and improvisers and people with like acting degrees and stuff who were just dead keen to do it for no money. And they were presenting hours of television at a time. And it was going up on the box and they were just like getting texts. It was very ahead of its time. This was like, I don't know, almost a decade ago now. I think maybe 7-8 years ago. And I did a segment on the You Late Show, which is how Guy Montgomery and I met, which was called The Lou Review. And I had a lot of fun with it. It was a great bit. And I haven't found the title sequence in anywhere near enough resolution to play, but what I do have is the theme song. And so basically just for my own amusement, here is the original Lou Review music, which hopefully, let me know if you guys can hear that coming through. If you Google Lou Review on, if you search Lou Review on YouTube, you'll see some of the episodes that I uploaded because I just took a punt and I was like, you know what? The station's gone. They're probably not going to sue me for copyright now. And you can see Guy Montgomery and I, fresh-faced from many years ago, forming our comedy friendship. So, folks, I solicited last night for you to send me some loos, and now let's go through and review them. I am fucking over the moon to be doing this bit. Let me set up my screen so I can see everything a bit properly, and let us get into it. Okay, so here's the initial tweet. As you can see, I want to review some toilets, post photos, and I will review. Mike came in real quick with some photos that he apparently took himself, which look stunning. A bathroom from a bar in London. I mean, it's going to get a 5 out of 5 for aesthetics for me. Practicality, I just don't know how this thing works. These little pods that remind me of Man of Steel, the little, you know, the dick cannons that fly through the sky that transported all the what are people from Krypton called? Kryptonians? When they were bailing, when the planet was exploding. It reminds me of that. Or maybe like a little egg that the sperm impregnates. It's very futuristic. It's very cool. I love that palette. They almost look like stained glass windows up the top. So look, 5 out of 5 for aesthetics. I'm going to, off the strength of these photos, which is all I have, give it a 4 out of 5 for practicality. I would love to know what the Wi-Fi situation is in this bathroom, but the aesthetics suggests to me that the Wi-Fi is going to be coming in there pretty fucking hot. So I'm, based on all my available clues, going to give that a 4 out of 5 for Wi-Fi, which I think gives us just doing some rough math in my head, I think 4.75 out of 5 is an average score. Malexi1 has sent in this toilet, and given their own short review as well, just in a reply comment there, pros, gender neutral, cons, it's outside. I'm not averse to an outside toilet, it's got to be said. I think that over the years, urbanisation has brought us more and more under, into buildings and with stale air, and I'm spending a bit more time outside during my normal day at the moment, and I'm finding it quite invigorating to just sit under a tree, read a book, hear the bird life. So this is a toilet that maybe could facilitate that as well. Aesthetics, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. There's not a lot going on here. And in terms of the actual facilities you need to do your business, it looks pretty lacking there as well. So I'm going to give that a 2 out of 5. Wi-Fi, I can't imagine it exists in this particular location, so I'm going to give that a 0, which I might have this slightly wrong, but it gives us about an average score of 1 out of 5 for that particular toilet. Thank you so much for sending that one in to us. What have we got now? Let's have a look. Okay, interesting choice here. This is sent to us from an account called Incredible Sausage. It does look like a toilet, and I guess technically a toilet's kind of whatever you sort of imbue with the title and responsibility of holding your waste. Now, in terms of practicality, I'm actually going to give this a 3.5 out of 5, which might be higher than some of you would assume, but that bin lining is going to provide both protection for the bin itself, but also a pretty easy breezy way of cleaning up. Not very environmentally friendly to be able to have to have a big sheet of plastic every time you want to clean the toilet, but from a hygiene point of view, that actually scores pretty high. Now, unless you are a child, I don't know if it's going to support your weight, and not even a big child. I'm talking a little wee child probably could sit atop that particular budget throne. Wi-Fi, in my heart of hearts, I'm going to call it a 3 out of 5 because this looks like it's near a house but not in a house, and I just get the sense from this picture that you've got a pretty strong wireless router. I'm going to give this toilet overall average score 3.5 out of 5. Okay, got another one. This is from Zach. Zach, who's a regular contributor to the show. Thank you so much for sending this in, Zach. Zach, this looks like you've actually done the brief. Oh, no, you haven't. I was going to say it looks like your personal toilet, but I've just looked at the photo a little bit quicker. A little bit slower. And look, practicality is an all-time low here. I'm not quite sure who this is for or how this, in fact, happened. I hope in my heart of hearts that this isn't a Photoshop and somehow this went down. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for comedy value, which is a criteria we apply to all of the toilet facilities. Wi-Fi looks good too, so I'm going to give this toilet a perfect score, 5 out of 5. Thanks for sending that in. Another entry from Zach. These are just, I think, some Google image search toilets, but that's quite fine. We'll review those. Look, you hate to see it. It makes me physically ill. Sort of a, not quite shag pile, but very thick carpet, which is not a million miles off the colour of this. Oh no, I guess it's not quite there, but it's sort of, it's in that palette of 80s. It just makes me sick, really, to see a toilet surrounded by thick carpet. It's a 1 out of 5 because there is a toilet there. Now this is real nightmare fuel. I mean, fuck. There's a phenomenon called uncanny valley, which, if you're unfamiliar, it's when something kind of gets close to being right, but it's just wrong enough that the human brain really kind of freaks out about it. It's commonly used with things like robots when they look like humans, and they look enough like humans that your brain starts putting together sort of an emotional frame to analyze it as a human, but then it knows it's not, and it starts freaking out. That is this for Bugs Bunny. I know it's supposed to be Bugs Bunny, and it's close enough to being Bugs Bunny that I recognize the attempt, but it's just off enough that it scares the shit out of me. However, from a practicality point of view, maybe if you were backed up, that's just the kind of scare you need to encourage a little number 2's dropping out. Also note that there doesn't appear to be a seat connected there, which means practicality's kind of low. I don't know, this looks like it's in a bar, so Wi-Fi is probably good. I'm going to give this 2 out of 5. And again, just a nice little internet goof urinal situation. I'm not going to score that because it's just a urinal. Another great submission here from Twitter user Bubble Gummel Bum. Prince Bubble, you can see it. This is Pastor Brian Tamaki of Destiny Church. If you're from outside New Zealand, he's a guy who exists, and his wife Hannah. Probably won't get into it too much, but I'm going to say 0 out of 5 for that toilet. Here we go. Now this is what I was looking for, a slightly bog standard bog. We've got air freshener there, which is good, and a nice open window above. This looks like it was a legit submission from someone's home. Thank you, Emma, for sending that in. Wi-Fi I'm going to assume is strong, because to me this looks like a flat situation. And Emma Maguire doesn't mess around with Wi-Fi. 5 out of 5 for that. Practicality, I mean, you got the shower right there, so if something goes terribly wrong, you can kind of fashion a bidet situation on the fly. This is a perfect toilet to me. 5 out of 5. It's functional, it's clean, it's got everything you need. That's great. We'll just do a few more. This looks like an internet submitted one from Google Image Search, but probably the best I've seen in person. Well, fuck me, I take it all back. I'm so sorry. That is just stunning. I don't know, is that Art Deco? Is it Cubism? I'm not quite sure what the art movement is, but I fucking love it. I may not know art, but I know the toilets I like, and this toilet I absolutely love. Everything you need there. Soap dispenser, which looks full to the brim. A colour palette, which makes you think you are shitting inside of a painting. And a beautiful dark wood toilet seat, which will not retain the warmth of a person who has just used the facilities immediately before you. This is a 6 out of 5. What a stonking shitter. I like what's going on here. Almost a Scandinavian color scheme with the sort of lighter wood and white. Looks like everything's well catered for there. Toilet brush in its little home, toilet bin, and I'm not quite sure what that other bin is. Maybe sanitary items. Couldn't tell you. I don't know where the toilet roll is, which is really throwing me off. So I'm going to give this 3 out of 5. I'm assuming fantastic Wi-Fi for that one. Probably been doing the loo review for about enough. Maybe we'll return to it in a little bit. Mark, I've teased your one on screen, so I better put it up. Don't think anyone's will be better than Guy Montgomery's one, but oh well. That is a cool... Fuck. This photo's a work of art. Look at the angle. Look at the lines, the geometry. I mean, my brain is just... It's forcing my hand to reach out and rip a couple of squares of toilet paper off just because that is hanging too low, my dude. Does your TP hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? Because it shouldn't. It should have a tight little package going on there. But I'm going to give this toilet a 4 out of 5. I have to mark it down for that toilet roll. But this is a great photo. Well done. Let's play the theme song again because I love it. It takes me back. That's the loo review with me, Tim Bat. Probably a recurring bit on the show. I feel like it's IP that I own, so I'm going to wheel it out. Gutted that I don't have that last little bit at the end of the theme song. But, you know, you can't win it all. I got most of it there. Really, really takes me back. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Happening number 6. We're putting the art and party here. My name is Tim Bat. Thanks for joining us. We keep creeping up ever so close to the 100 concurrent viewers mark, and then coming back down again. I love it. It's like a little tease for me. But if you want to share what is going on the show, here's all the bullshits to share on your social media. We are on Twitter and Instagram at happening_show. Facebook.com/thisishappeningshow, and if you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/happeningshow. I'm not sure what the bonus content's going to be, but it will exist. I promise you that. Get some friends to come in. Would love to hit 100 viewers concurrently today. And let's see what's coming up for the rest of our broadcast here. We're about midway through the app. Okay. All right. A little bit of a technical thing I've got to explain with this one. So we had our stream shut down, I think episode before last, for a copyright strike. I get it. It's not like I'm against copyright laws writ large. I understand the principle of artists needing to protect their work. I'm down with it. I just think YouTube's particular heavy-handed way of enforcing it is a bit fucked. We got taken down. That's made me a little bit gun-shy about playing any music whatsoever that I know isn't 100% sweet. But this cool woman called Jess sent me in a video of her rocking around to Kate Bush, Wuthering Heights. So what I need you viewers to do, if you've got this on in the background, you're just going to hear silence for a little bit. Don't freak out, the stream is still up. But if you're an active viewer and you've got some tabs open and you can do this, open a new tab, go into Google, get Kate Bush, Wuthering Heights up, and when I start the video, and I'll give you a countdown, you've got to start the music video. If you're doing it on YouTube, make sure you skip through the ad right now. I'm burning time so that you can do this. I think Jess sent me an email, so get that up in a tab. Jess writes, "Hi Tim, long-time listener, first-time emailer. Wanted to send in some video art I made last week as I continue to not leave my home in Melbourne." I can't believe I said it the wrong way. Melbourne. And also attached to this email, which I've got for you now, folks. Happening is great and brings me so much joy. Keep doing what you're doing and take care of yourself. Cheers, Jess. Thank you, Jess. What a lovely message. So, without further ado, folks, I'm going to count down from 10. I hope everyone's got their Kate Bush Wuthering Heights ready, because this is just going to be silent. I had to strip out the music, but it syncs up if you start it at the start of the song. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, Kate Bush, go. Thank you, Jess from Melbourne, for sending that in. You can look at this after the fact and DIY in your own Kate Bush Wuthering Heights. I shall not fuck with it for fear of getting the stream taken down again midway through. Wuthering Heights is good and all, but this video holds up to no sound viewing. Secret Beetle, couldn't agree more. You can experiment with both. Once this is not live and taped, you can do both and tell me what one works better. That song, by the way, probably good that it's on mute. That's the only song I've ever heard that legitimately frightens me. There's just something about the musicality of Wuthering Heights that really fucks me up. Not into. I'm kind of a fan of it in the way that you'd be like a fan of scary movies that give you a little a jump scare, but I would never put it on while I'm doing dinner or something like that. Had a lot of comments about how people are watching, by the way, which is bloody lovely. A lot of people got it on in the background while they're doing work. I dig that. That's the intention of the show. Some fucking wallpaper television, they call it. Just have us on in the background. It's a good time. We've got for you now Problem Child, part number 3 of 4, sent in from our mate Sudsy. Here's his socials, so you can follow him on Twitter. Sudsy sent in the SPCA video, which I played a lot of times last episode, and he sent in a 4-part epic. Here is part number 3 from Lachlan, aka Sudsy. This is Problem Child.
Liam has very kindly offered to make us dinner tonight. And that's great to see him showing some responsibility, taking some initiative. I'm very happy, very pleased for him. Liam's had an interesting relationship with food in the past. This year for Halloween, he went trick-or-treating as Butter. That was his costume, just Butter. He bought 15 kilos of the stuff and just lathered it all over his skin. He spent about 2 hours in the bathroom covering himself in butter. And I think any parent in that situation would be concerned. I certainly was. So this is great to see. I'm very pleased. Good night, Liam.
Don't care.
And sweet dreams. And don't let the bed bugs bite.
Shut up.
And I love you.
Part 3 of Problem Child there from Sudsy. Thank you so much for sending that in, Lachlan. You're a true Aussie battler. A hero. I'm going to attempt now to get someone on the phone. How about now? I'm just chatting to them, actually. A person named John, who I shall not reveal what's going on ahead of time, but I'm talking to them in the chat while I'm on air. This is what I love about the internet. You can fuck around in real time. So cool. All right, he seems good to chat. I hope I plugged in the webcam. Oh, yep, I did. Again, I apologize for the echo that happens on Skype. I don't know how to fix that. I will try and do it as time goes on, but, you know, old Timbo's only got 2 pairs of hands here. Just trying to take each technical challenge as it comes. Just trying to get John on Skype now. It doesn't appear to be picking up. People were really jonesing to see what happens in part 4 of 4 Problem Child, and you should be juiced for that. It's going to be a good fun time. All right, maybe I'll blow the stack and reveal who John is. So John is one of the band members of Sex Brews, who are a cool band that I played in the last episode. I played a song called Rona, which it looks like they concocted like individually from their houses, throwing in together based on what I was seeing in the music video, and then edited it all together. Creativity knows no physical bounds. We got John. All right, let me get you on screen. My man. Hey, John Pope, it's lovely to meet you. How you doing? Yeah, I'm pretty good, thanks. Oh, you look quite the musician. Look at you with your background, your beautiful GAT and your keyboards. It looks legit as hell, man. So, Sex Brews are a band that you are part of from South Carolina, Charleston. And you guys are kind of, I saw you describe yourself as a fake band, but I think this happens with a lot of fake bands, is that you get too good and then all of a sudden you're just a legit band. Has that happened with you guys yet?
The band name, and we put it on the poster. We put up the poster everywhere, and people were like, "Sex Brews? I was, all right." And then we basically wrote all our songs in like 2 or 3 days, and it was like pretty successful that first time. So we bought a bunch of fake Facebook likes and made it look like we were just really, and just started acting like we were famous.
How many? How many bots did you get?
And now, I think at the time we had like 20,000 likes, but we bought them at the time on Fiverr.com. You can't do this anymore, I don't think, as easily. And most of them were fake, and they like disappeared for whatever reason. So
probably because they were fake.
But now we have like real fans, kind of like you said. A lot of them in New Zealand, apparently.
What, the fake people or the real people?
No, the real. We've got some real New Zealand fans, I guess, is what I'm trying to allude to.
Awesome. And I read as well that you guys have made pancakes on stage. Is that a regular thing for you, that you like make food while you're up there performing?
Yeah, that's another thing. That's the difference between real fans and fake fans. Is once we started getting real fans, they would start getting hungry. So we're like, all right, well, most bands don't think about that, but we try to be really considerate of all our fans. So we throw snacks. We make pancakes. They're questionable in quality, but people are so excited about getting a pancake that, like when you have to work for a pancake, you have to like fight someone physically in a crowd at a concert to get a pancake. It just tastes that much better.
I really like
that. Make sense?
Trying to, yeah, absolutely. I think pancake is the perfect food you've selected. I just like the idea that you're trying to like get the needs met of all of your fans. It's like, is someone out there hungry? Yeah. Let's give them food. What else are you trying to get couples together, people who are feeling lonely out there? I guess that's just an inherent thing that happens at a live gig anyway.
Yeah, especially at our shows, our music is very sexual in nature, and
clue
it's
in the name,
a pretty powerful aphrodisiac. Sorry?
The clue was in the name, Sex Brews.
Oh, right, of course, yeah. So I think, I mean, I imagine people are very inclined to, get together at our shows. It's very romantic atmosphere. The smell of pancakes are in the air.
Nothing will get people going like the smell of pancakes. Oh, sorry, that's my dog who's trapped himself in the garage with me. That's cool. Rufus, just calm down.
I was going to say, I can see you got some lockers behind you there, and I'm seeing a different angle than I've seen before.
Yeah, this is for a future game show that I've never quite got time to sussing out, but eventually we're going to do a game show involving the lockers. It's going to be hot shit. People are going to win things, but I also don't know what the rules are on that for YouTube. Are you allowed to give shit away? I don't know. The question I wanted to ask you is, based on the highly sexual nature of your music and the aphrodisiac effect, it's probably not a word, of cooking pancakes on stage, do you know if anyone has copulated at a live show?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to think of a show that we've had where, people are leaving the show to make love. Which is a problem. We have to save our more sexual songs for the end. Yeah, because otherwise the whole crowd will just leave to copulate, as you said.
Well, let me tell you an experience that I had once, John, as a live performer myself. I'm something of a live performer myself.
Okay.
Guy Montgomery and I were doing a live podcast once in Auckland, and we found out later there was a couple that were quite drunk that were making a little bit of a ruckus, and then they sort of chilled out. They didn't make any noise for a while. We found out afterwards that they had gone to the bathroom to fuck in the middle of a live podcast record, which is one of the least sexual live events that I could conceive of.
What were you talking about when that happened?
From memory, We Are Your Friends, which is a Zac Efron movie that Guy and I watched for a whole year, once a week, every week.
Yeah, I read about this. Wait, so tell me about that. Your podcast. You watched a movie, the same movie every week, and then
yeah, we've done it over a few years. So we started with Grown Ups 2, the Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
And then we did Sex and the City 2. And then we did We Are Your Friends, and then we did Sex and the City 1.
How did it feel watching Sex and the City 1 after having watched Sex and the City 2 that many times?
Bad. That was terrible. It was bad. It wasn't as bad as Sex and the City 2. Nothing has...
Yeah.
I was going to say topped that one, but like bottomed it. You know what I mean? Nothing's been worse than that. It was true psychological torture, that one. It was a bad time. Hey, John, what I might do is, with your permission, play your big hit, which has got a fucking shit-hot music video. Pardon all my swearing, but I'm so excited to play the song. Can I play Party in the 80s?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Will it
that's
get me
one
a
of our
copyright
favorites.
strike?
It's a fan favorite as well. Sorry?
Do you know if it's like... Are you guys with a record label?
No, we're independent.
Okay, then hopefully this will be sweet and it won't get the stream shut down. Thanks for joining us, John. Great to talk to you in this very two-way interview. I like the back and forth.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I've been enjoying the show.
Love the vibe. Oh, thanks, man. That's great. And if people want to check out Sex Brews, they can just go to sexbrews.com. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Sick.
Come check us out. Check out our merch also. That's on sexbrewsmusic.bandcamp.com. Got some great stuff on there
at the moment, folks. Artists are struggling out there. Without further ado, here is Sex Brews with their big hit "Party in the 80s." Cheers, John. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
If you want to chat over fax machine, you can send your butt
Everybody, oh, there we go. Mic's on. Sex Brews. What a band from Charleston. What did I say before? South Carolina? One of the Carolinas. We just had a chat to John from the band. Fucking cool dude. Go to sexbrews.com, buy the merch. He told you to do it, so do it, pretty please. Some big fans of that song in the chat. You love to see it. I don't know if that's a song about the 80s as much as it's just a song about cocaine that they managed to put in a wrapper of being about a particular era. Nonetheless, it's a banger, no matter what way you slice it. Now, this is, I guess, slightly self-indulgent in a way, but a podcast that I produced for a couple of mates of mine, Rose and Alice, is called Boners of the Heart. I was talking about it before. It's fantastic. And Rose and Alice have actually been thrown together by circumstance coming back from London and quarantined together in self-isolation for an extended period. I would describe both of them as reasonably independent people. They're also really good friends, so it's an interesting dynamic that's playing out on daily podcast episodes that they're doing. But they've been experiencing a few arguments, constructive debates maybe, and I just wanted to play you from a recent episode how those arguments sound for a little dissection of a friendship problem that's happening right now close to home.
Making food blind. I'm making it blind, and I'm doing the bulk of the cooking. So I knew that would wind you up.
What are you fucking talking about? I made you chicken salad today. You cooked
made
the
me
chicken.
chicken salad.
The bulk of the cooking. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you want to tally?
I would love to tally.
Meals?
Let's tally the meals of who's made what. I'll rattle mine off, and we'll just go one for one. We'll do a verbal tally on the podcast.
Okay.
Go. Oh, roast chicken.
Eggplant and rice.
Taco bowls.
Spaghetti.
Meatballs.
Grilled cheese sandwiches.
The rice and lamb.
Rice and lamb. Okay. I made you breakfast one day.
I made you breakfast one day.
Okay, cool. How many more do you have now?
The bread that formed.
I don't take the bread is a neutral space.
Did we or did we not use it as one of the main ingredients in our dinner last night?
Yeah, we did, but that was just an ingredient. We prepared. Oh, so you're just gonna. If I made scones right now, I would not go, oh, I've done that's one of the counts of my cooking.
I would include scones if I then got to put something on that scone and that formed the basis of my dinner.
Okay, look, I'll give you bread. One.
No, and the meatballs. You didn't have anything to back that up.
What are you talking about? Meatballs was just a couple.
You said I made you breakfast, and then I said I made you breakfast too.
Yeah, I know, but we are now on that. So now we're even.
But
after breakfast.
I started though.
1 hour later.
Can you call that the bulk of the cooking?
I can call it the majority.
Okay, so that's a different. You fucking lost. Why don't you just accept you lost that argument?
This is literally an entire episode just dedicated to trying to figure out who had done the most cooking, and then this absolute legend who's a listener to Boners of the Heart sent this in.
Hi, Rose and Alice. So I've been listening to all your podcasts during the quarantine, and you discovered an interesting math problem in this most recent episode, and you're trying to figure out who's cooked the bulk of the meals. So I wanted to show you the systematic way of solving that problem. So if we let A represent here the amount of meals that Alice has cooked, and we let R represent the amount of meals that Rose has cooked, the two things that we know about these numbers are that together Alice and Rose cooked 20 meals, right? And we know that Alice cooked 3 more meals than Rose. So that means that the amount of meals Alice has cooked is equal to the amount of meals that Rose has cooked plus 3. So this is a classic system of linear equations. So luckily this is enough information to solve for both these variables. So we let this be our first equation. This is our second equation. First thing we want to do here is rearrange equation number 2 here, so it's a little easier to get into a workable form. So I'm just going to subtract R from both sides here, write this out as the amount of meals Alice has cooked minus the amount of meals Rose has cooked is equal to 3. So this is going to be our new 2. Now if we add these equations together, we get 2A. The R's cancel off because this is a plus R, this is a minus R, and then on the right side we get A, 23. So we get dividing both sides of the equation by 2, we get that the amount of meals that Alice has cooked is 11.5, and what that means is that the amount of meals that Rose has cooked is 8.5. So you can see here, if with these equations right here, both of you having cooked 20 meals together, and Alice having cooked 3 more meals, there's no non-decimal solution to the system of equations. So, yeah, as you figured out on the podcast, you have to either change this +3 to a +4, or either go to like 21 or 19 on total number of meals cooked. All right, thanks so much. I'm a Mata fan for life, and hope you take care during the rest of this quarantine.
I mean, that is dedication to a podcast right there. And who is that? That dude is Alaric? At Alaric M. Did I do a Chiron for Alaric? I didn't. Here's how you spell it. At ALARIC M. That true meta fan has done the math. And now we're joined by seemingly maybe just Rose, which is a pretty bold move.
Jesus Christ, this is television.
I know.
For God's sake.
This is. I just first off want to just check in on you two. Like, how are you?
How are we? We're fine. We're absolutely fine.
Yeah, we're doing well. Why? What is your problem?
This is what I quite like about your relationship. I see you guys involve yourselves in dissections and chats and arguments that for any lesser couple would break them. But you guys, you drill in and you go through and you're stronger out the other side of it. So is it all well? Is it all resolved?
Yeah. I don't understand. It's funny. We get a couple of emails, people being like, "Are you guys okay?" And like, no, it's literally not. No, of course we've got our own problems, but together we're fine.
Stronger than ever.
The more you say that, the less I believe it.
Together we're stronger than ever.
No, honestly, I was thinking the other day. I was thinking, I'm gonna miss Alice when I have to leave here.
That's so sweet, and I don't feel the same.
Okay,
but I.
Well, loud and clear.
No, of course I'll miss Rose. She doesn't touch me enough, which is the only drawback of her.
Yeah, but it's because I'm physically repressed, you know. But once I get out, maybe I should experiment with touching and stuff. I don't know, but
this
I
is
know
interesting, right? Because in the last bonus episode, you two had some sparks fly because Rose, well, I don't know. This is how I boiled it down. Correct me if I'm wrong. Manners were really drilled into you from your family as you were a kid, please and thank you, that kind of stuff. So Alice doesn't hold the kind of cultural importance that it does to you. I was raised the same way as you, Rose, so I was like, I'm team Samoa, the whole side on this.
Far Samoa. Hey? Far Samoa. Your Samoan upbringing. No,
yeah,
I don't.
I'm wearing a kimono.
Yeah. But, you know, I think it's funny because I think though in practice, what I'll say is that in practice, and no, not to say that you don't have manners, but in practice, Alice is the most generous person I know. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it is, I see the kind of, you know, point where people can have good manners but be bad people, which I think we agreed upon.
We did. I think we came to an agreement. I mean, by the end of the episode, I was cancelled and Rose had more fans than me. But, you know, that's not to say that that wasn't worth it. You know, sometimes it's important to get a bunch of kindling together, stand in the middle of it, and light yourself on fire.
Wow. And with that, you just cancelled yourself again. Akin to Jonah.
Romantic chemistry that has been sparked in this kind of close quarters experiment you two are in?
Chemistry? I think actually more so it's like we've never lived this. Well, we've lived together in Edinburgh, Melbourne for like month-long stints and stuff.
Oh, yeah, we have.
And cohabitated well, but not just the two of us.
No, it's definitely been, I genuinely think it's probably strengthened our relationship.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think more so.
Because here's the thing, is that we do fight a lot.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it never feels personal. It always feels like the other person is shouting at you, but like what the subtext of what they're saying is, I'm going to make you better.
I listen back to the podcast and I'm like, why am I screaming at you? I am fucking screaming my head off. And it's like, but I know that I'm only doing it because I know that you know that. I mean, if you yelled at me, I wouldn't take it that seriously.
No, I mean, I do yell at you, and I don't think you take me seriously at all.
Right.
Sometimes I wish you would, because I'm saying it in jest, but it doesn't mean I don't mean it.
I think what's worse is we're at our worst if we're passive aggressive to each other.
Yes, that's true.
So I think that it's actually healthy in a safe space, if you're in close quarters with someone, to, you know, just communicate. And sometimes communication is about yelling at each other, about saying please and thank you. But see, that argument stemmed from me being passive aggressive. So that is a lesson.
We do have frequent miscommunications, though, I feel like. But if I will say this, and I have not addressed this to you, I feel like the bulk of our miscommunications are because you assume the worst about me.
Oh my God!
No,
Yeah,
can I just say,
true,
because like the other day we had a fight about a cookie time biscuit. Now, here's the scenario, right? There were 2 cookie times in the cupboard, okay? And I had seen Rose eating one of them. So I knew one of them was for sure gone. So I was searching the cupboard. I was looking for another cookie time. And I wasn't really attached to the idea that I would have a cookie time. But I didn't want to waste my time looking for it if it wasn't there. So I asked Rose if she'd eaten both of them so I knew that I could end the search. And she just went off on me. Okay. So
But can you ask me, Alice, in the way that you asked Rose?
Yeah.
If it was what was the tone? Because I feel like that's critical.
Okay. Searching. Hey, did you have both the cookie times?
Did you hear
Rose,
that?
can you verify? Is that how she said it at the time?
Okay. Can I just
verify or not?
Hey, did you have both the cookies? Did you hear that intonation? Hey, did you have? And it was a much more tone of disappointment. It was this. No, it was this. Rifle. She knows that I'm watching her. She knows.
I don't know. That's what you're assuming. I don't know that you're watching me.
Okay, fine. You didn't know I was watching you. But I'm always watching you. If you're in the same room, I'm watching you. Okay, rifle.
Okay, you're doing like a feature film.
You can't even bring yourself to do
You're doing like a
it.
feature film about this moment where I simply asked if both of the cookie times were gone.
Hey, did you eat both the cookie times?
Oh, that's devastating.
Can I examine the sentence, okay? Did you have both the cookie times? Okay, if you were truly not sure that I had eaten both, you go, hey, did you have the other cookie time? Or, hey, did you have a cookie time? Both is the problematic word in this sentence.
I think you could pull off saying the word both if you change the tone.
Even if you had both of them.
If it was like,
listen,
hey,
all I'm saying is that
did you have both of the cookie times?
Okay, all I was using both as in that context was to denote that there were 2 cookie times at the start.
Both denotes that one was, we had one each. So that was saying both is saying, did you have my cookie time?
No, because do you know what?
It's great to see your friendship thriving and stronger than ever, just as you were articulating before. We've got the solid proof now. I think we should just keep checking in with you from like a human experiment point of view, like a social experiment point of view, because I'm fascinated by your dynamic. I love both of you.
Can I just say this though?
Of course you can.
Because
I'm not going to rap
she's
you.
again muddling my name in public. But can I just say this? What frustrates me about it is, when have you ever known me ever to treat food as if it's solely my own?
Okay, so no, absolutely, and I will give you this. I'll absolutely give you this. Alice shares all food. That is one of her defining features.
I share all my things.
Yeah.
I don't own anything.
Okay, so I agree with this. What I will say is that what I had a problem with in this situation, this scenario, was the fact that she felt a true emotion of, I wanted that cookie time. You may have eaten it. I'm upset about that.
And so,
If I no, cookie time, would there still be half the cookie time left?
Let me finish. So what I didn't like is that she didn't let herself feel the emotion of being upset, and because she tried and she pushed away from it, and she her principles of I share everything. She didn't lean into the fact that hey, I'm a bit pissed off, and she didn't admit to that, and I wanted her to admit to it.
I could not have been less pissed off about the situation.
Okay, fine.
I honestly don't know if it is it's like proof of an abundance or a lack of emotional intelligence that you guys can drill into a cookie time debate in this much like depth and read so much into it. But either way, it's fucking dynamite.
I definitely think it's emotional intelligence.
We're incredibly emotionally intelligent, and as you could see before, like intellectually, just really not there with maths.
Barely.
Triple chunk. That's interesting because someone
a bit eaten.
You can crumbs on
hey,
my
Alice, we have a question for you from the viewers. What did you just breathe into the mic?
No, I just
what's the best cookie time cookie?
I'm not really in a place to answer that question because I have no attachment or feelings.
Also, you don't even like
cookies.
sweets.
I don't really like sweets.
I like sweets.
I think that goes to prove my point, is how little I cared about the cookie time cookie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We've got another question. This is a quick one for Rose from Frank. Did you eat both the cookies though? All right, see you guys.
I ate one.
Catch up with you later. Bye.
I ate one.
Maybe I'm not friends with them anymore too. Gutted. Always great to see Alice and Rose. Please listen to Bonuses of the Heart. It's one of my very favourite podcasts in the world. Those two are complete dynamite. And I don't know. I think Rose has talked about on the podcast. They're like writing a sitcom for the BBC together, which I hope still, is going ahead and has just been delayed because I can't wait to see what they make. Moving on to some less tense shit. Let's put this on. James Roque, New Zealand comedian, feeling the pinch of a lack of live performance, has retreated into the world of Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Switch, and he made his own comedy club in the game with a whole bunch of turtles watching him talking to a pole vault, which I think is just demonstration of filling a need, when you're lacking something in your life, you got to use the available tools that are around you, and that's what James has done in Animal Crossing. It makes me really sad to see this, I got to be honest with you. It kind of breaks my heart. But it's art, realistically, and some art has sadness and pain in it. That's where good art comes from. Don't want to leave you guys in suspense any longer than is absolutely necessary. It's time to see our concluding part 4 of Problem Child, sent in from the great Sudsy. I was trying to get this thingy on. Yeah, there it is. You can follow him on Twitter. Here is part 4 of a great saga we've been watching. This is from Lachlan, aka @Sudsy_ Problem Child.
Good morning. Good morning, Liam. Yes, good morning. We're here, we're having breakfast, having breakfast with a view. Oh, have a look at that. Liam, what do you think of that? It's pretty good, pretty swish, no? We're having breakfast, having some Danishes for breakfast, lovely. Liam loves Danishes, don't you, Liam? Yes, he does. Danishes are Liam's favourite food. Which is strange because he's otherwise very xenophobic, but he just loves the Danes. Oh god, it's not because they're white, is it?
Shut up.
Liam. Well, Liam, it's almost time to head home. We're almost done on this little trip. You excited? You excited to go home? Right. Well, just before we do, I want to tell you something. I want to say I'm really proud of you, Liam, because I have gotten a lot out of this trip. I hope you have as well. I feel like I've gotten to know you a lot better over this last day, and I feel like we're closer than ever. And you've really opened up to me, and I'm proud of you for that, son. Is there anything you wanted to say to me? Alright, well, let's head home, will we? Father and son, together forever. We're inseparable. Us boys. Love you, Liam.
Can you shut it off?
Okay. That's it then. Goodbye. Wave goodbye.
Shut it off.
Okay. Well, no need to yell.
Sudsy with the concluding part of the 4-part saga of Problem Child, which has been occurring across the episode today. Good fun. Man, things are really kicking off. Rose vs. Alice, the meta fans and the snedheads in the comments about Cookiegate. Someone just said this segment is too real. I feel you, man. We're trying to keep things light and breezy here. It's important to go through your emotions and feel what you're feeling, but also it's important to have some escapism, which is why I felt like we had engaged with the cookie content for about as long as my coffee-addled body could handle at this time. I've got a lovely little picture to show you here, sent in from Rowan. Where did I put it? Oh, do I even have it? Let's see if I can get it on screen for you now, folks. This is from Rowan, who writes, hey Tim, probably not what you're looking for, but I made a quilt for my baby niece. I sew, but it was the first time quilting, and lockdown gave me time to quickly finish it before she was born on the 29th of March. Cheers, Rowan. I thought I'd put this in somewhere, but clearly I hadn't. I got to show you this beautiful quilt. Because that's the thing, life's still going on out there, folks. People are still having babies. Uncles are still being born, which is what happens when your sister or brother has a kid, I guess. You get birthed. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying? Like a newly minted uncle. Oh, I didn't even download the bloody picture. Well, there's been a lot of build-up for this quilt now. It better be good, huh? It is. I've seen it. It's beautiful. It's just little because it's for a little baby. Let's do it the old-fashioned way and just poppy this into a screen for you. Can we see that? Can we see that beautiful quilt? Oh, I just want to lie on it and fall asleep with my thumb in my mouth. Good on you, Rowan. Sewing's great. I wish I knew how to do it. I'd like to learn how to sew. Maybe I could make my own kimono one day, although I feel like that's probably some pro-level stuff. And back to me. Tim Bat. With my Chiron. If you want to get in touch with us, by the way, a few different ways to do it. We're all over social media, folks. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. It's the same handle, @happening_show. Facebook.com/thisishappeningshow. And if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/happeningshow. Thank you so much for that graphic as well, which was sent in... Who did that one? Mark Mansfield, who is at @Mark_Mansfield1 on Twitter. True legend. Tom Katsumi, who I know does a bit of, what do you call it, fabric craft, materials, says kimonos are pretty simple. Sick. Perhaps at some point in my life within my reach. It'd be great to make a kimono once. What a cool thing. What else we got on the show today for you folks? What have I done with the rundown? We have been going for the 90 minutes, and I wanted to make sure these shows don't go too much beyond that, because otherwise I won't. They'll get too hard, too unwieldy. Unwieldy? Don't know. Secret Beetle is a perennial viewer of the show. She is here every ep. And last ep, in the last dying moments of the show, she sent in a tarot card reading, which I played on air. And I am delighted to report that we have a second part of that. I've forgotten what Secret Beetle called the bit. Do I have your email? Oh, yeah. Tarot Reading 2, Return of the Cards. Hey, Tim Boone, which is what my phone corrects to if I wrote Timbo. Scara/Secret Beetle here again. You slipped the call for more content under the radar, but luckily I live online and never sleep. I made another what's on the card snippet for the show. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it live this time since I have a job to be going to for now, but I'll catch up later. Thanks for your hard work on the show, and once again, hope this works. Well, I'm happy to report it does, and here for you right now, Secret Beatles tarot card reading number 2.
So that last reading was pretty dark, and I thought maybe we could do another one, and just to see if anything has changed, see what's coming up on the cards these days. Give this a good old shuffle again, make sure that we get rid of all that bad stuff that came up before, and yeah, let's see what's in store for us this time. So, here we go. Try that again, shall we? Right, first up. Okay, we've got the 5 of Cups. Now, I can see how this also doesn't look great. Clearly not having a great time there. Spilt a few cups. That's not a great sign. But, none of us are having a great time just now, and look, maybe we just need to focus on, there's still these 2 cups here, so that's not all bad. Maybe we just need to look a little bit on the bright side for a change. Maybe that's that. Yeah, okay. So we can work with that. How about we try card number 2? Shall we go with now again, it doesn't look great. I can see how that on the face of it. It's a pretty negative looking card, but look at it this way. I think maybe here, so this heart obviously being stabbed by the swords, I think this represents us all working together to stab the virus. I think that's what it is. So that's not too bad. Let's do what's the last one for today. I mean, I can see how on the face of it, again, this doesn't look super good. But look, I mean, they had to get out of the tower somehow, obviously, because it's on fire there. It's obviously, we just need to escape that situation. And I'm sure there's going to be a safe landing for them and for us. So I get that didn't look exactly promising, but I think we're all going to be fine. I'm just gonna put this away somewhere where it can think about what it has done.
Secret Beetle, thank you so much for contributing another tarot card reading. Fantastic. Mixed news there, obviously, but it's more the fact that Skara has gone ahead and done that. That's so cool. And I think she is watching live in the comments here. I've seen her pop up a few times. So, fantastic. Let's keep that going. Bloody good stuff. Now, as we round off toward the end of the show, I would like to remind you all that I love you. And thank you for joining me here today. We had some pictures sent in from Tom Neusling, who's a fantastic content maker, camera op, like videographer dude, possibly photographer, I'm not sure. Very talented man who does a show called Comedians Eating Plants. Comedians? Let me double check that I've got that name right. But it's basically, he talks to New Zealand, Comedians Eating Plants, which is on YouTube and you should look up. And it's Kiwi comedians enjoying vegan food. And it's great. You might see some familiar faces on there that you've seen on the show. And it's just good content, folks. That's what we need at the moment. Just get your mind off of things get some good content going. So thanks, Tom, for sending in these beautiful rabbits. There's an email that I must read. Bit of photography. A bit of time in the backyard with the rabbits always makes us feel a bit better. I hope these flower-bearing rabbits will lift your spirits too. The grey one is Donna Took, and the brown boy is Fosco Baggins. Love from Tom and Tegan. Just gorgeous. Thank you, Tom. And I believe that is our show today. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Share this around all your mates. I hasten to add, and to be honest, I'm kind of stoked about this in a way. We did not break triple digits for the concurrent viewers, which gives us something to work for next episode. Please keep sending in your art, because otherwise this isn't a show. It's just me going insane, trying to pad for time for like an hour and a half. Here's how you do it. That's missing the email address, which is thisishappeningshow@gmail.com. That's the critical one. Send your stuff in, but if you send it into the Twitter or Facebook, I will receive it and ingest it into the system. And if you want to support us on Patreon, please do. Patreon.com/happeningshow. What the goal is with that, the initial goal is to raise enough money so that I can buy this thing so that we can stream at the same time on YouTube and Facebook, and I think on Twitter as well, and maybe Twitch. It is a little bit of money outlay at the start, but what it means is that everyone will be able to tune in simultaneously, which will be fun. So thanks again, everyone, for joining me. This has been Happening number 6. I've had an absolute freaking ball. You guys are awesome, and I will catch you in the next episode. Yeah, cool. Bye, everyone.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.